Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Chronicles of Hollywood History, past, present, and future. Welcome. And here now, Corey Gomez.
Hello, everyone. Before I get started today, I would like to talk a little bit about our upcoming guest. Born and raised in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Tyler Main began his career as a professional wrestler. He trained with Stu Hart, Red Bastien, and Mondo Guerrero. Became known as the Skywalker Nitron when he wrestled in Canada. He eventually made his way to WCW, where he became the bodyguard of the late Nancy Benoit, aka Woman, when she was managing Doom. He traveled to Puerto Rico, to All Japan Pro Wrestling. He even joined one of my favorite Mexican promotions, CMLL. Not only while he was there was he an active wrestler, but he starred as a villain that shot lasers out of his fingers in one of the many Lucha Libre films. That particular one was called Luchadores de las Estrellas, where he played El Vampiro Interspatial. After that, he went to World Championship Wrestling again, this time as Big Sky. He ended up teaming with a man named Vinny Vegas, who you later recall went on to become Diesel, and then finally under his real name, Kevin Nash. After the end of that run, he went to the Universal Wrestling Federation. He became their Grand Champion. Shortly after that, he retired to begin a career in acting. You'll know him as Sabertooth in the X-Men movie. He went on to act in various other films, eventually meeting Rob Zombie when he was in an uncredited role as Rufus in The Devil's Rejects. That led to 2007, where he made his most prominent role to date as Michael Myers in the Rob Zombie remake of Halloween. He continued that again in Rob Zombie's H2, which makes him a horror icon, as he is the only actor to now play Michael Myers in more than one film. In 2010, he launched his own entertainment company, where he's still going strong. In fact, he even got a little back to his wrestling roots in 2019 when he co-starred in Playing with Fire alongside John Cena. He's got a lot of irons in the fire. He's a busy man, but he did take the time to stop by and talk with us today. And here now is Tyler Main.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chronicles of Hollywood History. I am here with Tyler Main. You may know him from WCW. You may know him as Michael Myers. Doesn't matter how you know him. You might know him as Sabertooth. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Oh, no problem. Now, before you got started in acting, you were a wrestler, correct?
Yeah, I wrestled professionally for 11 and a half years all over the world. WCW, UWF, Japan, Germany, Austria, England, South Africa, Yugoslavia, Mexico, all over the world.
What was, were you in WCW during the Monday Night Wars?
I was in WCW, no, I think I was gone for that. Kevin Nash and I were tag partners for a little while. We were the Twin Towers, and then I did solo for a little while. But I started in the WCW as Nitron Woman's Bodyguard for Doom.
Oh, nice. Oh, she was a beautiful lady.
Yes.
Tragedy what happened. That's the only way to say that.
Yep, that is true.
Were you close with her?
No, not really. She was still, I think, with Kevin Sullivan at the time, and he was kind of guarded about all that stuff. But it was what it was. I mean, we had a pretty good relationship.
You got to find irony that he booked his own divorce. I mean, there's no other way to say that. I wonder how much teasing he gets about that. Well, probably not anymore. But how'd you get into acting?
When I was growing up, I was a tall, skinny kid, glasses, braces, and I would watch wrestling every Saturday morning, and then I always would watch action films after that, and things like that. And that was just something I always wanted to do. And I was lucky enough when I was wrestling in Mexico to be able to do one of the Mexican wrestling movies. And that was kind of...
Which one was it?
I'm not saying. It was in the 80s.
Oh, come on, I collect Mexican wrestling movies. The Santos, I even got Vampiros. Nobody has that.
But it was the 80s. I played an intergalactic vampire that shot laser beams through my fingertips.
Nice.
And I had a dog that followed me everywhere. Don't judge, it was the 80s.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to tell you, I reviewed Vampiro's Dead Sleep Easy movie, and when I asked him what he thought of the movie, his exact words were, I never bothered to watch it. And then the conversation went south from there, if you know him.
I wrestled with Vampiro a lot. I know Billy well.
He's an interesting cat, to say the least. Great documentary about him and his daughter out there right now, though.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Oh, I recommend it highly. It's very touching.
Yeah.
You know, you got the part of Sabertooth. Were you a comic fan growing up as well?
You know, I'd watched the cartoons and stuff like that, but being slightly dyslexic, I wasn't a big reader. So when I was asked to audition for the role, I did my research then, went into a comic store, and got a bunch of comics, X-Men with Sabertooth in it, and started doing my research. And, and luckily it turned out that I got the gig.
Then your big gig, even though you had to wear a mask, Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Yeah, I've been very, very lucky and blessed throughout my whole career. X-Men, King Ajax and Troy, Michael Myers in the Halloween, and I'm also coming out in the Netflix TV series Jupiter's Legacy too. So I've been very lucky to get some pretty good roles.
You know what role of yours I'm most jealous of?
What's that?
You were on an episode of VIP about 1 inch away from Pamela Anderson. That's a dream come true gig, in my opinion.
There you go. She is a sweetheart.
You are definitely the biggest Michael Myers. What was it like making that film for Rob Zombie? Because there are a lot of the weird horror fans. They hated it the day it was announced before they even saw it. What was filming like?
Well, I did my research. I watched all the other Michael Myers, and I wanted to make Michael more than a one-dimensional character. He's a product of his environment, and that's the way Rob saw it, and we told the backstory, and there are a lot of people that love it, and there's a lot of people that take it or leave it. It is another adaptation of the Halloween franchise.
I love the backstory. I thought Sherry Moon was amazing, her portrayal as the mom. I thought it was a criminally underrated performance. I thought, you got to kill Danny Trejo, for God's sakes. Not many people do that.
Yeah, I did. I killed Danny, and I killed a lot of people in that movie.
Yeah, Ken Foray, killed him during Rush there. Part 2, I won't lie to you, I couldn't get into as much. I couldn't get into the whole lady on a horse thing, but were you hoping they'd call you back for the new Halloween that came out last year?
No. After doing it twice and kicking it up a notch from the first one, I was, I had my run, and when you get a new director and new people doing it, they're going to want to do their own thing. So I'm fine with it. I played them twice. I've moved on. I've started my own production company. We're doing things. Like I say, I've got that Netflix TV series. I just did Playing with Fire. So I'm crossing all the genres. I just did some comedy. I'm going back to some more action. So it was great working with Rob and great working with all those people. And now it's time to move on to other things.
You've even done drama. You've got The Silent Natural out right now on VOD.
Right, yeah. There you go, yeah.
With Branscombe, the lovely Kathleen Kinmont. You had a great cast in that one. Yeah,
it was fantastic. It was a great opportunity.
Why do you think that not all the wrestlers that translate from wrestling to acting are as successful? Do you have a theory behind that?
It's just no. I guess I could say no. I really don't. It's for me. I know I'm passionate about it, and it's all I can see myself doing. So,
Well, do you think it helps because, like, you left wrestling to act? The Rock left wrestling to act. The ones that kind of bounce back and forth, do you think that stigma might put a little damper on it?
maybe, I don't know. I really can't tell you. It has a lot to do with personal charisma and what roles they're offered and what direction they see themselves going.
I mean, you were great. You've had great roles. In wrestling in Mexico and everything. I'm telling you, I'm a collector. I'm gonna find you shooting laser beams out of your fingers because I love my Lucha Libre movies.
Well, there you go. That'll be the hunt. Figure out what that movie is.
I know some people. I think I can ask some people that wrestled down there. So we'll track it down. Do you have any upcoming films with your company that you can tell us about other than the Netflix show?
Yeah, we just released during this COVID session, April 21st, I think we released Penance Lane, which was our second movie through our production company. So we have a couple of wrestlers in there. Booker T's in there, Dallas Page is in there, and it was a great chance to reunite with those guys. We also have John Schneider's in it, and I reunite with Scout Taylor Compton. So it's a great little cast. So please check that out. That's Penance Lane. And then we re-released our first film, Compound Fracture, and it's out on the platforms also. So if you have nothing better to do, check out Penance Lane and Compound Fracture from Main Entertainment.
All right, Dallas is a great guy. I got to through him I met various other wrestlers, some of whom I became friends with. I'm sure he was fun to work with. You said you had some comedies on the horizon as well as action, so you kind of got everything going for you.
Yeah, it's been a fun ride. I've got no complaints.
Ever get the itch to wrestle again?
Oh, hell no.
Why is that?
No, just walking up the stairs, that itch is gone.
Yeah.
When you wrestle long enough, you get to the point where every bone in your body hurts, and you're like, you paid the price to get to where you are, but I had my fill. And people don't realize, it's 200, 300 days a year, traveling, total boredom with only about 10 minutes of excitement a day. So, no, I don't miss that at all.
What do you think of during the pandemic now, how my son still watches wrestling, like WWE is, they've got a pretty neat virtual crowd. AEW has a random people outside. Do you think, what's it like to you if you watch it, to watch it without a real crowd there? To me, it's kind of takes something away.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have the rush of the crowd. And I mean, when you walk into an arena with 20 to 50 to 80,000 people screaming, it's a whole different atmosphere. But I haven't seen any of it, and I haven't been watching it. I've been so busy, developing our new TV series that we're doing through Main Entertainment, which is The Last Spartan and stuff. So I can't really comment on that.
Do you have any advice for people that want to either break into acting or break into wrestling during this time?
I mean, if it's really in your heart and soul, go for it. Don't take no for an answer. I mean, that's what I did. And there's so many different ways to get into the business. I came in through the wrestling and then took it serious and started training and figured out the acting and you just got to follow your dreams and stay persistent and consistent.
Do you have a favorite role that you've done so far?
I like them all for various different reasons. Because they've given me different opportunities. I mean, like with Gunless, it was a comedy I did up in Canada, and it was a fantastic opportunity to be involved in that. And then Troy for the various different reasons, and of course X-Men, the one that started it all off, to get to work with people like Sherian McKellen and Hugh Jackman, Halle Berry, Fonke. I mean, it was just like I say, I've been very fortunate with the roles that I've been able to do. So I like them all for various different reasons.
Is there anyone out there that you really want to work with that you hope to get the chance to?
Oh boy, growing up as a kid, I always wanted to work and do something with Arnold. I mean, that would have been fantastic, So you never know. Fingers crossed. We'll see what happens.
What are you? I take it you're filming something currently.
No, I'm training for a film that I'm going to be filming beginning of December, and then developing our TV series right now. So.
Well, fans, this interview should have been a little longer, but full disclosure, I fucked up. We are on different time zones, so I started this about 15 minutes late, so it's going to be a cut short because of me. No one else's fault but mine.
Well, I'm sorry that the time's rushed, but like I said, I got to jump on another call right away. So
you're good. Hopefully one day you'll forgive this error and you can come back and we can have a little bit longer talk.
I would love to.
Thank you for your time, ladies and gentlemen. You have been listening to the Chronicles of Hollywood History. Thank you from Gomez Richmond Productions.